Hi guys, this is jsnon.com and guess what? Fresh after the unboxing of the Motorola Moto G60, we have the G60S. It's sort of a lighter version of the Moto G60, but also with a different approach in some regards. So, the device was launched in August. It comes a few months after the G60, which debuted in April. This one is fresher, priced at $260, and it comes in this case, so it's time for an unboxing here at jsnon.com. Okay, so as you can see, we have the case pre-applied from the factory, or pre-offered, bundled with the device. It's a usual transparent and flexible case with a cutout for the fingerprint scanner and the camera at the backside. By the way, I haven't seen a phone with a backside fingerprint scanner for quite a while now. This trend has pretty much died out. The texture at the backside and the look is pretty different from the Moto G60. It has all of those stripes, which makes it a little bit more elegant, but also more prone to fingerprints and grease. It's also a bit more slippery than the Moto G60. The device has already been set up. I'm firing it up right now, and I'll show you what's in the package and some first impressions. Now, one of the selling points that we have here includes the large diagonal, 6.8 inches, high refresh rate, the large 5000 mAh battery, and it's charging. It's crazy 50-watt charging. I would say that's the core selling point here. You can be good to go in a few tens of minutes. We also have a quad camera at the back side, while the Moto G60 had a triple one, and the front camera does 4K video and also has its own LED flash, which once again is not something you see every day nowadays. Okay, this is an unboxing, it's not a review, so let's see what's in the box. Nothing out of the ordinary here. A key used to access the slots, and I'm including the microSD here aside from the nano SIM. Some juridic info in this leaflet, and the manual. Then we have the cable, which goes from USB-C to, let's see here, USB-C again. And an interesting fact, this is the first charger I've seen for a phone, which is bundled with the phone, and comes with two ports. It has the USB-C port and also the USB-A port. I'm wondering if it can charge two devices at the same time. This will be cool to see and test. I'm guessing that the answer should be yes. It's a 50-watt charger. It's very nice to see some companies offer you a lot of wattage for the charge of the phone and only provide you with a modest charger. Okay, so obviously the case is made of plastic. We're still dealing with a sub $300 phone, so this is plastic at the back, plastic for the frame, which by the way measures a hefty 9.6 millimeters in thickness, and the phone is 212 grams, which is lighter than the Moto G60, but that one has a 6000 mAh battery and this one 5000. We have glass at the front side with what I'm guessing is a pre-applied plastic protection from the factory, and this one is a 6.8 inch panel, and it's an IPS LCD as expected for this price range with a 2460 over 1080 pixel resolution and 120 Hz refresh rate. Right now it's set to auto, but you can activate it or switch to 60 Hz in order to conserve power if you need that. We also have HDR10 support and a punch hole at the top for the selfie camera. Now let's check out the processor inside. It's a MediaTek. We're dealing here. Let's see if the other app can properly detect it. CPU Z is the MediaTek Helio G95, actually 12 nanometer octa-core, and spotted as well on the Realme 8, Realme 7, Redmi Note 10s, and that's that. The phone has two versions. One comes with 4 gigs of RAM, one comes with 6. We have the 6 one, and the storage is 128 gigabytes UFS 2.1 accompanied by microSD. The battery is pretty solid considering what Motorola has been selling over the past years. I have great expectations. 2 days of usage is basically pinned down. So 5000 mAh and 50-watt charging. If you go around the phone, at the top side we have the audio jack and the microphone. At the left side, the tray with the microSD and the nano SIM card slot. On the right side we have this extra physical button, which is meant to trigger Google Assistant. Here we have the volume buttons, and here we have the slightly striped power button. At the bottom side, the singular speaker, USB-C 2.0 port, and another microphone. That's pretty much it. A pretty solid build for a plastic phone, also curved backside edges, but once again slightly slippery and prone to fingerprints. Now, if you want to talk about the connectivity, here we have a phone which provides you with NFC for payments. We have Bluetooth 5.0, GPS, GLONASS in Galileo, and USB-C 2.0, 4G and Wi-Fi dual band are as well part of the package. Now, an interesting bit, the good old school FM radio is present here. And I think it's time to address the camera now. This one at the front is a 16 megapixel shooter. Keep in mind, the Moto G60 had a 32 megapixel shooter, so there's that. But it does keep its own 4K video capture and LED flash. Let's actually go here and let me demonstrate you. Once again, just like the G60, it's pretty well hidden, the flash. So here it is, in this part here, pretty cool to see. It aids you with the selfie capture during low light situations and more. Okay, so now on the back side we have a quad camera. The star of the show is a 64 megapixel main shooter with f1.7 aperture and face detection autofocus. Then we have the ultra wide camera bundled in here, 8 megapixel, f2.2, 119 degrees of capture, 5 megapixel macro camera, which is nice to see because it's not a 2 megapixel one, so it's superior, and 2 megapixel bokeh camera. LED flash here, and 4K 30 frames per second video capture again, and for security we have a back-placed fingerprint scanner. The camera interface is very much the same as you've seen on other Motorola phones. These are the core options. We got your spot color, panorama, live filter, cutout, cinematograph, the full resolution of the sensor, 64 megapixel, dual capture, portrait, night vision, group selfie, and a pro mode, plus dual capture again. This applies for photos and videos. You can alternate here between the ultra wide, macro, and 1x zoom. This is the area with some extra photo options. This is the video section where you can activate your resolution and microphone. Unlike the Moto G60, you cannot change the frame rate here from what I can see, so you're not getting 60 frames per second Full HD video, which is kind of odd. Now on the interface front, this is stock Android 11. No extras from Motorola except from this area here, where we got your personalized options. It's basically related to the way the system gets to look. So fonts, colors, also icon shapes and layout. Plus gestures, we have quite a few of them, aside from those I'm currently using to navigate around the interface. And the display, here we have the peak display and attentive display, which basically are replacements for the always on display and some extra. Gamers have the game time area here and the game time features. Considering the processor and also the refresh rate, it's obvious that gamers are going to buy this phone if they're on a budget. These are the audio effects, which are basically a series of equalizer options. Nice to see again. And I think that's pretty much it. Motorola hasn't installed much on the device. They kept it stock, no bloatware, so there you have it. Now, the device here has some differences compared to the Moto G60. It's not as narrow and long, it's lighter, doesn't have that huge battery, but it does have the very fast charging. It also keeps the screen basically with its high refresh rate, which you can set from here. It's still going to appeal to gamers all over the world and people who want to watch some multimedia on the large screen, because it's truly a large screen at 6.8 inches. The bezels seem a bit smaller, although this chin would beg to differ, and that's that. So, in the end, a mid-range phone with one of the fastest chargers around and some penchant for multimedia watching and a bit of gaming. That's it from us. We'll be back with a full review pretty soon. Don't forget to access gsnl.com for a quick glance at our reviews, websites, and more. I mean, reviews, unboxings, and more. That's it from us. Bye-bye.